demonstration. What's important to understand is that this is for an opponent that's got their hands relatively close together. So in fighting position, when they put their hands up, they're here, or here, maybe here or here, right? So they're pretty tight, and you notice I switch leads, and I've got them a little bit staggered or relatively close together. That's for this type of opponent, all right? It's not for somebody that holds their hands out really far, or has a different type of position, okay? So if Scott is a fighter, he puts his hands up there, what I'm basically going to do is just slam his hands into his face and break his base. You notice his body line went up. At that moment that I've got this front to back connection, I'm going to rip to find an opening here. So the basic opening is just clash and rip. So if we're starting here, his hands come up, bam, I'm going to clear them right out of the way and find my opening. This Hart trap can end with strikes, or I can move in deeper for grappling, depending on what type of resistance I feel from the opponent. All right? So one more time, hands come up, slam, rip, oh, there's the choke, right? In terms of taking the back and so forth as you get control of the base. The critical component is to make sure I drive in deeply enough that I actually off-balance him. If I don't drive deeply enough, I'm vulnerable. For example, if I only close to the hands and he reads it coming and steps out and throws a punch, I'm going to have to deal with that outcome. Or the opposite, maybe he fades and throws the other one, and now I'm going to have to deal with here. But if I close in deeply enough and he tries that, it's going to be a lot harder because I'm going to continue to off-base him, take control, and overwhelm. Good luck. All right, folks, now we're going to talk about variations that can come out once you engage with the Hart trap. So there's several things that we need to consider. One is that I'm always prepared for whatever outcome based off of the pressure that I feel on connection and engagement. I know that's a long-winded sentence, but stay with me for just a moment. What's important there is when I smash into his ear with that, there's a couple of things that can happen. Like right there, what happened as I smashed into him is he adjusted back this way. In other words, he fought to try to get back here. So one more time, you hear your hands come up, and I smash, he's fighting this way. In that case, I'm going to help him go that way. That's the way he wants to go. A good rule, this is just a fundamental rule of trapping here, is that I'm more often looking to put on the gas rather than the brakes, right? So when I smash him and I feel that pressure going that way, I just help him go that way. So his hands come up, boom, and right there, I'm coming right through, okay? If I smash and he takes a little step back to try to base himself with his back leg that way, and I smash this way, great. I feel that pressure and I'm ripping him aside, and that's pretty common as well. Sometimes stance will contribute to these outcomes. In other words, if he's loaded this way with his right foot in front, his left foot in the back, his hips are turned that way, that's a much more likely outcome than I'm going to rip his hands that way, just because of the way that people naturally tend to fight for their base. But not always, right? And I'm definitely going off of pressure. If he leads left, again, he's faced the other way. So naturally he's going to go that way. So when I smash, I should be ready to have that rotation happen quite naturally. Another variation is that as I smash him, he braces down, right? He tries to frame and push me away on that smash. Those hands come up and he does that, and I get those hands here. This is a great opportunity to rip them back, right? And to go all the way deep into a grappling type position. All right, let's do it from the other side so the camera can see. So as I smash, I feel that rip. And you can see that when I pull him back, he's right there to get smashed with the inside forearm and then into the choke, okay? So in really slow motion, flow, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? You're just gonna choke him standing or put him on the floor. So that's another common variation that happens, all right? Sometimes as I start to smash, let's go over one more variation that's common. I smash here, I get control, and I start to rip, and he fights back. So again, I take him through for one of these, okay? Just a side note, it's not that we're talking about fully about choking, but a critical component component for Chunjo is we never go for a standing grappling move without having the guy's base broken. In other words, I would never choke severe. If he's strong up here, I'm never going to reach over top of him. You notice every one of these, his base was fully broken. He's in a poor position to adapt, right? I want to make sure I continue to control his base as I go for these grappling moves of any kind, all right? I don't have to go for a grappling move. There's plenty of options available as I overwhelm him. So those are the common variations that we're going to see with this. Now, a final one, let's just take a look on camera. If you could pull this camera and follow us just for a minute. If you're near a wall surface, okay, and you're near a car, sometimes you can just take a guy and put him against the wall. So maybe you're in the argument here, but you've got an environmental possibility that's available to you. His hands come up, smash it, put him into the wall, right? You can hold him there. You can go for striking. You can choke him and so forth. So one more time, his hands come up, boom, and you just put him right in the wall. You notice I'm still controlling the different parts of him as I'm going through. I'm not going to take off the pressure. I'm going to smother him. So that's a good one. In slow motion, come on out over here so we can see this. In slow motion, this back hand that was the shield here turns into a grab as I double push forward and actually get control of his base that way, right? So you're controlling that through the arm. One more time, we're here, the hands come up, you just put them right in the wall, and then of course continue in to do whatever control move you're after. All right? Thank you, sir.